All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Space Brothers, episode 14.
Aha.
What is the next step of the test? We got the whole persuasive essay thing and all that stuff. Cool, cool.
Muta kind of brought up a very unique perspective here about perspective and the way in which that's something that we don't necessarily need to focus on. We need to just focus on what we're doing here.
And it was enough to change the minds of the people that were actually giving the test and made them think, you know what? Yeah, we don't need to send this.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Serika's was the one that they were,
right.
Thinking of sending, which means, hey, Team A is doing pretty good. They're going to be looking at a couple of these people rather favorably.
Right.
But particularly Serika and Muta. So
keep it up.
Keep it up. Keep it up. Yeah, but given that Serika didn't really, Muta didn't really win that task, basically. Our Nita fellow is not going to stop calling you Oni-chen,
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see at what point he'll start earning the respect of him, or we'll start seeing the more dirty competitive side of the contestants come out to where things,
more full rivalry and
sorts.
Exactly. Because I think he understands enough to know not to cause actual conflict within the group.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's more favorable for him to have someone else do that. But
exactly.
But yeah, everything is being observed. They do have the wristbands that are actually monitoring heart rate and stuff. So it could all just be trying to test and see how calm you are underneath the pressure. And the actual results of this stuff are we could have any of you be the astronauts that we pick.
Because that's we proved that by you getting to this point.
Right. So this is now we're looking for when you're in a stressful situation, when you're in a nightmare situation, can you remain calm and do your jobs?
Yeah, all the tests so far have been pretty dang easy, all things considered.
So they could ramp it up in this episode.
They could.
But yeah, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this.
外の世界とは完全に切り離された閉鎖ボックスでの生活が始まってから5日目。まさか自由時間までしっかり監視されているとはつゆ知らず。
The whole thing, yep.
What is this for?
I don't know. Mental will?
Yeah.
Maybe just a funny game for fun?
Right, just to cut the edge.
Yeah. Yes, so hilarious. Oh, they're just
nice.
They're just betting pudding, basically.
Oh, he just gives it to him.
The old guy's gonna clear him. He's gonna. Oh, that's just horrifying.
Yeah.
Even he took it. Yeah, his whole face sagging and elasticity. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Advantages of being old.
Oh, so fearsome. Oh, it is about that time, I guess. Yeah.
14 years ago. Oh. Okay.
It's like Serika's dad. Oh, this is Fukuda. Maybe? It's a lot to change in 14 years, maybe, but...
Yeah.
He was in rocket design, though. Wow.
All right.
Yep. Okay, it is him. Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
C 班は穏やか、A 班は賑やか、B 班は微妙に険悪なムードが漂っています。
あらららら、そうなの？
各班の
Oh, cool. Nice. We got all kinds of data here.
Okay.
いや B 班はね、15人の中でもね、
壁を作るようなこの流れは割と予想通りではありますが、
まあ、これからどうなるかはね、まだわかんない。
Yeah, we're still early.
来るからね。
あらららららら。
どうしたの？もう何？
福田さんのメガネが。
Well.
Yeah, that's a problem.
メガネ落ちてるなんて普通思わへんって。ありえへん。
気にしなくていいよ、古谷君。悪いのは私だから。
見えますか、福田さん。
Yeah, how are you?
家族に電話してもらって新しいメガネを送ってもらった方がいいですよね。
いや、大丈夫だよ。なくても大して影響はない。
Well.
I mean, realistically, on like a mission, you'd have
Dang.
multiple pairs or something
It's
like
making a
that.
huge difference. Yeah, it's...
But the glasses thing, that could happen to anybody, right? Not just an old person, so...
Totally. But the difference between having contacts and glasses, you know?
Sure.
音声があるんだ。この課題に視力は必要ない。落ち着け。
It does slow you down, though, potentially.
福田さん辛そうだぜ。
だからなんで俺に言うねん。俺のせいちゃうて。不可抗力の出来事や。
It's true. That could have happened to anybody.
せめて一言謝ったらどうだよ。
Oh, he didn't even apologize. Yeah, he was just trying to defend himself. Like, hey, I didn't do it.
Oh.
よりも薄っぺらいもんは心にもない言動やっちゅう。
So maybe make it a sincere one?
正直者やから。
頑固者だろ
705。
Well, he seems to be doing decently fine then. Yeah, we're 5 days in. Okay.
若いみんながいる中で、私が選ばれるために必要なことは、年を感じさせないこと。
Right, right.
この2週間だけの見せかけの若さでも構わない。
The eyesight thing isn't going to work, though. You could say that, like, part of the test would be
Yeah, 20
saying
questions
that,
is-
you know,
is
this is a
decent,
problem so that you can take care of it.
いつもより疲れた。苦しいが我慢だ。息を殺せ。
Right, but they're noticing all of this because of the wrist
Right.
trackers. Yeah.
Well, right, because you don't have your glasses. You're
今でも走っ
everything's going to be thrown off. You're just going to be straining more than usual.
が報われる日はいつ来るのよ。あなたがあれほど打ち込んできた有人ロケットの開発は中止。
Whoa. Oh.
あなたは一生懸命だったかもしれないけど、でも今まであなたがやりたかったこと何一つ叶ってない。
I mean, is it about his accomplishments or about whether or not he'll be a good
No, I think
dad?
that that's what he's making it about. That's why he's not coming back to work, you know,
Sure.
just nearby. He's focusing on a job that's keeping him away from family, you know.
Yeah.
涼子には父親が必要なの。
Yeah.
夢が叶った時にはあなた何歳かしらね。その頃にはもう涼子は大人だわ。
Yeah.
54か。涼子は
It's crazy. He looks a lot older than 54. Like,
Yeah.
dang.
影山さんのことお父さんって呼ぶようになってきたのよ。
Like, she'll barely remember you. You'll be a stranger.
せめて夕食くらい取っていけないの？たまには涼子とご飯を食べてやってよ。
すまない。
Oh.
父さん、今度はいつ帰ってくるの？
お仕事が終わったらね。
有人ロケットできたら？
うん、そうだよ。もうすぐだから。
もうすぐって明日？
Oh.
明日。
Yeah, not even just like a work late that night thing.
あ
Like a
あ、明日がたくさん来たら。
like weeks or months.
Yeah.
ごめんな、良子。
Like he could probably teach at a school, you know, and have a great job nearby.
いや、ごめんよ、良子。
All the things that he tried to
Oh.
うんと遊ぼうね。
じゃあ約束。
Okay, alright.
Ah.
Never done
This
with
is like a
work,
One Piece backstory.
Yeah, exactly.
They give us a goofy laugh and a fun little.
一度も守ってやらなかった。
So he didn't come back after work was done. Oh man.
ただ、父さんはこの夢
But
に
you weren't there for her, so.
全てをかけて挑みたかったんだ。
Well, okay.
初めての有人ロケットを作って、そしてそれに乗って宇宙へ行くことです。
Oh, just like the first OP, yeah.
胸を張れ。ここまで来たんだ。自分の年なんて忘れよう。
Yeah, it's inspirational what you've managed to get so close to doing, but it
Right.
sucks how much you have to sacrifice on the way, yeah. You gonna apologize?
And see, it wasn't just that you were.
Wait, did some of the glass get
あの
into
感触
Oh, no. He just
Yeah.
feels...
Because you also weren't paying attention. He tried to get you to, like, stop because his glasses were there, but you weren't listening.
浦君はね、昔から逆境に強い男だ。まだ大丈夫だろう。まあそれよりね、こういうことがきっかけで彼らにどういう変化が起こるか。
This is the perfect kind of accidental test
Right.
that will, you know... Oh,
Sure, because I guess with the. Like, this
Physical
isn't about
test.
capabilities at this point, you know? So it's more how he responds to this. Because he would just have extras if he went on an actual
so they're
mission.
just hanging upside down, basically?
Think so?
風呂開いたぞ。
Yeah, yeah.
名前の呼び方をかけてるらしいよ。
Oh my god. These are just their own little wagers and stuff.
アクセントは無。
これはただの賭けとちゃう。どっちが宇宙飛行士にふさわしいか。ちょっとでも優劣つけとくためのバトルや。
それ初見。
Oh, and you're on your knuckles? That's so much worse than the palms.
宇宙には上も下も重力ないから逆立ちの能力いらないだろう。
逆立ちの能力とちゃう。忍耐力と精神力、腕力とバランス感覚。
Right, right.
ようやく半分が終わったわけだが、そろそろみんな誰をどうやって選ぶのか気にし始めている。ここで私は私なりに
Yeah, what is your analysis giving you thus far?
小さいという単語に過剰に反応する習性あり。ここのとこもうちょっと小さく。
誰が小さいって？
分50秒。
伊藤セリカさんは
Ah, Seneca-sama, yes.
Yep.
料理がすこぶるうまい。
Oh,
ただ量が半端ない。
You say that like it's a problem.
yeah.
ご飯粒がよくついている。
Nice.
筑波大学でスポーツ医学を専攻していたという新田礼二。
終了です。38問正解。
He's very competent, yeah. And competitive.
スポーツ心理を研究し、メンタルトレーニングに精通している。
His hair
剣道
deflating.
5段の剣士だからか、いつでも戦
Oh, I wish I knew how, like, amazing that was at Kendo to be able
Yeah.
to be more impressed.
った血管を見せてきやがる。
A physical specimen.
Yes.
福田直人さんはタフな54歳。機敏な動作とよく通る声。
Ah.
で指揮を取ってきた立場にあり、責任感が強く頼りになるリーダー的存在。
Gotcha.
根が割れて2日目の今日、とうとう打ち込みテストの成績が過去最低の結果となった。
Oh, so they're doing that multiple times over and over again.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
体力、精神力、腕力、バランス、その他もろもろ、チンパンジー以下やな。
Yeah, he lost, yeah.
パーが
Dead.
グーに負けた。
前より手首曲げんでいい。グーの方が力が持続するって。まあ、実は
Really?
練習してんけどな。勝ちは勝ちや。 Yes, sir.
I think that wouldn't that be terrible though on your actual...
But if you have wrist strength, then maybe...
But like knuckles holding your body weight on a solid, like
maybe
hard
it's
surface?
because that's a direct connection to the bone right here. So
sure, so then you can line up the bones with the wrist.
You don't have the angle.
は平気そうに見せてるけど、辛そうなのは分かってるだろう。
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
俺らはある意味敵同士だから、手助けするのもなんか違うよな。
Well, that's not a very teammate thing to do, right?
審査みたいな話、試験官たちもわきまえてるんやろうけど、それでもみんな人間や。おっちゃんに対する尊敬やら恩義やらある人も中には。
Maybe.
Possibly.
さん、今回の宇宙飛行士の募集が発表された時、すぐに会社を辞められたそうです。
Whoa.
Okay.
Quit the rocket.
捨てられるほど今回の選抜にかけてるんだと思います。
管制室の深夜担当官の皆さん、お疲れ様です。これ見えますか？
Oh.
Nice. Nice.
Okay.
こんなことで消えんのかい？
Nice.
Cool. All right.
I like it. Awesome.
Okay. Wow.
Good stuff.
That was a really like sweet and kind of scary episode for a little bit there, because we were focusing so much on Fukuda here that I was worried that there was going to be a situation where they'd have to talk him out of like stepping out potentially, because that could fail the team or something like that.
Yeah, right. Because it very much gave the vibes of the, sudden backstory for a side character,
right,
horrible, tragic death,
right. But not even in that regard. Just the why is he doing this? Like the actual why, and the doubt that can creep in, because you're sacrificing a lot, and so the idea that he then sacrificed even more to basically say, hey, that dream that I was going on all that time, yeah, I put that aside here to become potentially an astronaut.
Right.
This is far bigger than just a dream. This is more than that. And so this will carry over into later episodes too.
Yes, and I like the implication that potentially, because he quit his job, right? It's the, okay, if I don't make it here, then I will acknowledge maybe that that's not happening.
And then I'll go home.
Right. Now, that won't necessarily mean that, there will be much point in trying to be a dad for your daughter, because she's going to be, coming up on 30 or something.
No, of course,
soon,
but that'll be that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Better at least,
30
or 25.
But why?
Because that was 14 years in the past when she was already like a grown kid.
A grown kid, maybe. I got the vibe that she was a little bit younger, but maybe.
Okay.
Because the idea of
definitely not 30.
Yeah.
But regardless, it's
she'd be an adult.
Right, she'd be a grown adult. And so the idea is that, hey, does that mean that you can fully be her dad? No, but that doesn't mean that you can't have connection with her, right? And that, the mistakes of the past do not dictate your future, right?
Right. Just because you've committed so hard to a thing doesn't mean you need to continue forth in that. Sunk cost fallacy for life decisions, that's a heavy thing. The idea that he's basically not going to get his manned rocket design to go in this way here. Probably because eventually they just go towards unmanned rocket designs, and then it's just... there you go. Your whole thing, all your work and what have you is
right, or it's someone else's design, or
it's they take what little work of yours that they learned and then they make a different version of it, and one that's not needing people. But wow,
yeah,
I was very much emotionally hit by the goofy faces. Nice.
Yeah.
That feels very anime as far as a backstory thing to cheer up, It's going to be years and years before you see me in person again, but it's okay.
Yeah. That's brutal. And yet when you think about it, I imagine that would be the sort of stuff that would happen a lot when you have something where it's hey, this is a project that has so much behind it, right? That, the pressure that he was feeling, whether it was just internal or from his team or, from higher ups or whatever, right? To fully throw himself into his work like that. Yeah, I believe it,
Well, yeah, I totally believe it, but it's again the kind of thing of where people make these decisions because of big whys that are deep inside them and go beyond, like, you know, week by week thoughts and feelings and stuff.
Sure.
So the idea that he's basically committed to this to all this point, and yet he ended up having a kid, you know, having a wife and stuff. So this had to have been communicated at some point.
Right.
But there was a breakdown in communication or expectations.
Exactly.
And now it's the, hey, your child is growing up. They're, you know, no longer a baby anymore. So this is now actually a thing where you're missing out and they're noticing it.
Right. Like
this isn't just the, oh, you come back home for a little bit and it's like, woo, Papa's home, yay.
Right.
It's the like, why isn't Papa here for XYZ, you know?
Yeah. To now calling the new dude Papa, right?
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
And the 14 years ago when he was calling about it, that's the, no, it's already too late.
It's already
right?
too late.
It would not be good for you to come back into her life, right?
Yep.
To say nothing of the, and it's been 14 years since then, right? You know, so like the amount of time that he was actually in her life would have been very, very small, right?
Yeah.
Even before everything, you know, fell apart.
For sure.
So, but I love that this was the angle that we get to see this new side of Furia, with the, yeah, I messed up, and you're right. This could have happened to absolutely anybody, right? Anybody walking through and, oh, whoops, yeah, the glasses were on the floor, right? But that doesn't mean that there's, you know, that there's nothing you can do.
Right. I also liked that there was this little bit of guilt because he was like, oh, like he was feeling the twinge in his foot of like, almost like physical guilt of like,
did I just crush his dream? Like,
well,
you know,
not just crushing his dream, but the idea of like, when you go to step on something, if you're actually like considerate in a lot of ways, there's that part where you feel it and you go, oh, I'm going to pull back. But he went and full crunched into it. Meaning
right.
Like,
he was so focused on basically, which is the, you know, so focused on what he's doing that he's not stopping or hearing him when he's like, oh, wait, you know, right. Like, and yeah, he just.
Well, yeah. I think it's the other thing, even more so, that it's the, oh, I have a reasonable excuse. Whatever I'm stepping on, it doesn't matter. Like, there's potentially even more to it than that, where it's like, I felt it. I could have stopped, but I didn't. Why did I not do that? And so he's eating himself up a little bit of like, maybe some part of me kind of wanted
right,
an
that
extra
second
edge.
guessing, yeah.
Yeah. And so he had been feeling that twinge in his foot of like, I need to settle this. I need to do something more to actually make this right. And then once he went and wrote the request, basically, that stopped the physical response that was going beyond his, you know.
Which, yeah. And I also just like the idea that it's like, hey, the thing that the you know, the dude that's watching this, it's like, no, don't send the glasses just yet, right? Because, yeah, that would be very easy for them to do, right? And even not going into the immersion thing of, oh, well, but they're in a rocket right now. No. That's no problem. You have extra pairs, you know, right? But let's see how they respond to this, right? Yeah. Because it's not about whether or not you can actually do all the little things that we're giving you. Otherwise, we would tell you what the metric is for whether or not you're going to be the ones picked. Whoever has the highest score, you know, aggregate from all the things that we have you do, right? No, it's we want to see how you perform, and then we're going to make an informed decision, right?
Well, again, that's why I wanted to interrupt a little bit here. They're not doing that. The teams decide who are going to be the two.
No, right, but that's not even how the decision is actually made. They made it clear that, like, you tell us who you think are the two best, right? We will still make our own decision, but we want you guys.
No, totally. But that's something that we're implying a little bit. That's not fully communicated to them.
Didn't they say that?
No. That's something that they said that there will be other people that they will. They said that there will be other people that we will leave room for. We're not necessarily only going to pick two people from each team, basically. But the actual thing that they told him was that you guys have to decide which two amongst you would make the best astronauts.
Right.
There's no empirical thing of like, and we will have 6 astronauts only, or and the people that we will ask are the only ones that will be the astronauts. There's a lot of things I think that we've picked up and kind of implied with regards to the meta of this, that just because they're deciding this doesn't mean that all those people will become astronauts.
Right. Yeah. Or that people that aren't picked won't become astronauts.
Right. There's
all they were asked to do is, and this is all stuff that the characters also are thinking, because, you know, they're like, okay, well, I really want to be an astronaut, and this is the final test, so, you know, how does this work? What are the higher ups thinking? All that stuff.
Right.
But it's there's
layers,
Yeah, there's layers, but it's we just want you, you know, what was said was, we want you to decide amongst yourself who the two that you think would be the best astronauts.
Right.
And that's what we have. Yeah. And so part of being an astronaut, right, is being on a team, having each other's backs, right? You know, you're going to be together for a long time. And that wasn't being like explicitly like drawn attention to by any of the characters necessarily, but I feel like the like under the surface stuff is strong enough that they don't really need to, right? Yeah. You know, like we knew what the problem was with Furuya, is that he wasn't being a team player, right? And so seeing him be a team player here, right, that's what's important, right?
Yeah.
You know, Fukuda, his glasses broke, right? He's not able to perform optimally here. Is that the problem, or is it all right, and now what do we do about that? How does he respond to that? You know, if he were to, you know, get really pissed and, you know, start blaming Furuya,
right,
you know, that would maybe not be a good trait that you'd want an astronaut to have.
Right, and that's why I wanted to bring the attention to that the characters aren't thinking about it as deep into that meta level, and that there's only just what the group of observers is thinking, because they had the debate about whether or not this was an automatic disadvantage to Fukuda. And Furuya was saying, I think actually it's now a level playing field, because he's thinking about it from that competency within the, you know, test standpoint of like, we're going to...
Right, assuming we're all basically the same competency, and then you also have the fact that he might know some of the people from JAXA, that's an advantage that he has, which was fun to bring up, because then it's the one, Mu, you're not the only one who could theoretically have some advantage or have people perceive you as having an advantage, right? Yeah.
Which... I do love all the little ways in which they ended up focusing, instead of on the tasks, on the ways in which they just ended up making games for themselves to just to pass the time.
Yep.
But then Furuya ended up bringing up how it's we are doing this to also show who's the better astronaut, because all this stuff is potentially relevant. And Muta's just like, I didn't think about that at all. I'm just literally trying to pass the time here. Like, come on,
I'm trying to get you to call me Mu. You know,
right. I genuinely.
I need to get everybody in this, you know, our portion of the test to do that. Like, that is important to me.
It's important to me, and I also want that pudding. Like, don't make this about that. No.
Yep.
But apparently the biggest twist to me was that Fukuda is only 54, which I guess makes sense from the capability standpoint.
Exactly.
He probably can't be much older and actually be able to do this.
He would not be able to physically keep up with everybody else if he was older than that, and the fact that he's able to do that at 54 is damn impressive.
Right, and I would say, if anything, I think it's maybe just the art style or what have you. He looks so much older than 54 that, bro, you've had a stressful work life and just stuff in general.
Sure,
go from where you were at 40 to where you are now at 54. You look like you aged like 20 years at least, you know.
Well,
that was...
Yeah, not quite 20 years, but, you know, pretty close. Yeah.
Well, no, that's what I thought he looked as he aged there, as far as I remember when we were talking about guessing his age. What did you think his age was?
I can't remember.
Didn't you say like 60-something? Like...
because I don't remember I feel like we might have been told that he was 54 pretty early on.
Okay, maybe we did.
I can't remember, but yeah, just, I mean, regardless, you know, difference between 54 and like 60 or whatever, I feel like it's not that much either way, because he's still easily 20 years older than Muta, right? And Muta is on the older side of things, you know, for some of these people, right? So, yeah.
We did get told that he was 54 here. I must have just forgot that. But, okay. Okay.
The team's coming together.
The team's coming together. And I am liking that even Nita is getting involved in some
Right.
of their antics and
He
stuff.
had that little blush and smile, and he's like, okay, that was a pretty funny face.
That is a really, really goofy face.
Yeah.
But all right, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You got an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general. And also be sure to check out our Twitch channel. So if you have any that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.